Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Ithak was bringing you gaming goodness and bringing you to the gardens in Malaysia. Very hot, very sunny. I'm having to have the fan on, it's a bit hot out here. So hopefully the fan isn't too noisy, but yes. We've got another sort of channel chat video. I did something similar at the start of the year to go over sort of the plans for the year, things I wanted to do, things I didn't do kind of thing. And this is something a little bit different because I recently picked up a game from Drive-Thru, and the game turned out to be something that I may not be able to feature on the channel, even though I want to, and even though the game looks amazing. I'll probably play, you know, in my own time, but I'm not sure if it will actually feature on the channel. And that made me think that there's some other really good games that I have that I thought at one point, you know, this would be good for the channel, but for one reason or another, I haven't got round to it, or maybe it's not suitable for the channel, or maybe I just won't have time for it. So I'm thinking that rather than just keeping those games kind of on the pile without saying anything, without kind of making you guys aware of these games, I thought what I'd do is I'll do a short video where I can highlight maybe five games that probably won't appear on the channel for one reason or another, but they are amazing games and I want to highlight them. Now, the game that brought this this way of thinking and this video into being is actually a very recent release by Modiphius from Ivan Sorensen, and it is Forgotten Ruin. And this is a game which is based on the Nordic Weasel 5X games, 5 parsecs from home, 5 leagues from the borderland. You know, these games that I have featured on the channel. I've had series of 5 parsecs and 5 leagues on the channel. I love these games. They have a great system. Ivan really does have a good knack of creating these good campaign games, or these adventure games where you have role-playing elements, campaign elements, adventure elements, evolution of characters, experience. And this one caught my attention. It's a new release, and it's based on a series of novels where a platoon or a force of modern day soldiers is transported to the near future to try and solve some kind of plague that seems to be transforming the population of the world. And they arrive in a fantasy world. It seems that this plague is basically transforming our modern day into a fantasy world with orcs and goblins and dragons. And I haven't read the books, but I'm looking for them. I think I've seen them on Amazon, but they're a little bit expensive. They're like $20 each. And then I think there's 8 books in the series, and then when you account, you know, there's shipping and tariffs and all that sort of jazz nowadays. But yeah, I got excited. I bought the PDF and I printed it out, and I was getting excited and thinking, yes, I can do another series. I can do another 5X series for the channel. But then I started reading, and it said that, okay, for your squad you need 9 figures or 9 characters in your force. And I was thinking, well, I do have some modern soldiers, some sort of modern troops. I have some British, I think from the Iraq War, I have some figures for those. I think I have some US Rangers. I think I have some SAS. I think I've got some SBS, some sort of frogmen as well. But the problem is I don't have enough, because the games that I purchased those figures for were based around fire teams of 4 figures, or they were sold in packs of 5 or packs of 6. So I don't actually have enough for this game, which means I'll have to buy some new modern miniatures. That's one thing. The alternative is that I do what is actually recommended in the book, and that is to maybe use a different kind of force, not necessarily a modern day force, but maybe World War II. Now, I do have World War II figures at many different scales: 6mm, 15mm, 20mm, 28mm, 54mm scale. I've got World War II in all sorts of scales. Modern, I've got a lot in 172 or 20mm scale, but that would mean that all the creatures and monsters would be too big. Because most of my monsters and fantasy creatures are in 28mm scale. So if I use I've got boxes of 172 scale moderns, but they'd be the wrong scale for the game, for the monsters they're going to face. But I do have some 28mm World War II, which would go perfectly with all my 28mm fantasy models. So that could be an option, but there's another problem in that you also need to have a lot of enemies for this game, because the enemies fight in mobs, and there's a lot of different enemy types. It's like with 5 Leagues from the Borderlands, you could kind of limit your requirements in terms of enemies or monsters or creatures to maybe 2 or 3 races or species kind of thing. But in Forgotten Ruin, basically, you've got a whole range of different creatures that you kind of have. And you know, if you play by yourself or you play with your friends in your own house or whatever, you can use whatever miniatures you've got. But when you try and do it on YouTube as a kind of series, you really should have at least the right kind of figures, yeah? So those two things are kind of holding me back. Whether I can get some 28mm or some more 28mm modern figures, you know, like modern day Royal Marines or maybe modern day SAS or something, and to build up a big enough collection of fantasy models. Now I have some of the types, but again, I don't think I have enough to really do the series and the game justice as a YouTube series. So yeah, I don't think you're going to be seeing this game anytime soon on the channel, but I'm probably going to be playing it in my own time. But it is a really good game. If you're familiar and you enjoy 5 Parsecs or 5 Leagues from the Borderlands, you'll like this. It is extremely similar to those games, but there is enough differences and enough changes and enough new rules to still make it interesting. It's not just a reskin. Yeah, it's a very interesting, and the books look very interesting. I'm going to try and find a cheaper source of the actual novels as well. But yeah, that's the first game that may not be coming to the channel, even though it's really, really good. The second game. Okay, now for this one I need to apologize. I need to apologize to Jordan Heckman of Earthbound Games. County Road Z. Now, the designer sent me the original PDF, the first edition, a long time ago, and I did print it out, I did bind it, as you can see here. This is the first edition. And it's an adventure game, a campaign game based around a bunch of survivors trying to sort of avoid all the zombies and trying to create and develop and restore hideouts and shelters and things. Kind of similar to what we had in Legacy of Cthulhu in the previous series, but this one's very much zombie based. Now, the problem with this was that when he sent me the PDF, and like I said, I did print it out. I did have in mind to feature it on the channel. I was just so burned out by zombies at that time. It's like every game that we were playing had zombies, and every movie on the TV had zombies, and every comic had zombies, and I just really couldn't face doing another zombie thing, whether it was a game or movie or whatever, and it just came at the wrong time. And this thing, I haven't played zombie games for a very long time. I still haven't, ever since. Oh, it's been years. I just got really burned out with zombies, and yeah, like I say, it's a really good game. And the thing is that recently, I mean not recently, but a little while back, I kind of thought, well, let's try giving it a go. But I noticed that there was actually a second edition released by Modifius again, I think. So that kind of put a bit of a spanner in the works, because even though for me, I have no problems playing older edition games, for things like YouTube, if you want to make people aware of a game, it's kind of a good idea to have the more recent version, if possible, or most recent edition. And I couldn't really afford it with the shipping and everything. So yeah, the County Road Z continues to be on the pile of books that I don't know, I would like to maybe include on the channel at some point. There you go, let's shine. But again, I can't really afford the second edition, what with the shipping and everything. But like I say, in my own time, I can play first edition, absolute no problems whatsoever, but maybe not on the channel. It is a good game though. Have a look out for the second edition. It is a really good game. I think it's produced by Modifius. And if you're looking for some kind of zombie campaign game, miniatures game, I do recommend this. It has some very nice features in terms of the combat system, in terms of the experience and the evolution of your survivors. It's well worth a look. County Road Z. That's the second game. Right, we are now at number 3. Remember, these are 5 good games, 5 really good games that I do recommend and I do like, but you know, they won't be coming to the channel. Number 3 now, number 3. Oh, there's a bit of a story to this one. And it's partly to blame for another YouTube channel. This is a game called, again, let's get the shiny cover out of the way. I should have done this before, shouldn't I? Little Town. Now this is a game by Gustavo Coelho, and again he sent me this game a long time ago, and at the time I was very busy with other games and with work, and it wasn't on the schedule for a long time. And while I was waiting for a space and a time to actually feature this game, I noticed that there were constant updates and changes to the game. It's available on itch, and like I say, it was just, I was getting a regular feed of emails telling me that there was a new update, a new version, a new update, a new version. And the thing is that I actually printed it pretty soon after he sent it to me. So this is a really old version, I think. And I just couldn't keep up. I couldn't keep up with all the changes and the updates because I'd already printed it out. I didn't want to keep printing it out and whatever. So I thought, well, you know what? I'll keep it on the pile of things I want to play because it's a good game. You're sort of investigating a town for murderers and things like that. It's inspired by Twin Peaks, which is actually a series that I absolutely hated. I couldn't stand Twin Peaks. So that was another reason why the original game wasn't featured. But yeah, I kind of kept putting it off because of all these updates, like I say, and I couldn't kind of keep up at the time because I had so many other things going on. But then there came a point where I thought, okay, I can do this. I can. The game's that good. I want to include it on the channel, but not the. I wouldn't be doing the original version, the sort of base game, which is sort of Twin Peaks-esque. There are a couple of variations on this again, which he provided. You've got, and I printed these together, Eldridge Town, which is more like a Cthulhu-based investigation, and there was also Eerie Town, which is X-Files style game, which are much more to my taste. Now, Cthulhu, of course. X-Files, yeah, much more interesting than Twin Peaks. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to feature this game. I don't care if it's the older version. I can't keep up with all the updates and stuff. I'm going to do it. And when I said that, later that night, or it might have been the next day, I noticed that the Dungeon Dive had uploaded a video on Little Town. And I think it was also featuring the Eldridge one as well. And it was like, oh no, I left it too long. I procrastinated too long. This has happened a couple of times where I've been prepping and preparing to do a video and then somebody else releases a video kind of thing. And I don't want to step on anybody's toes by releasing a video like a day or two afterwards. I don't think it's nice. Also, I don't want people to think that the only reason I'm doing it is to feed off somebody else's video and sort of feed on that sort of interest kind of thing. I like being either the first or maybe doing it a little bit later. Yeah, I mean, just look at Kurt Nathalas, for example. Stuff. They're still in the works. So yeah, so it's like the Dungeon Dive did a good video on it, and I thought, well, you know, the thing that I was planning to do is almost the same as what the Dungeon Dive did. It didn't really feel right doing it at the same time. So again, I delayed it. I thought, you know what, I'll give it a little bit of time. I'll give people a little bit of time between the Dungeon Dives video, and I'll do another video later. But I'll do Eerie Town, you know, the X-Files one. Guess what happened when I was preparing for the Eerie Town, the X-Files version? And again, it was a little while later. I did procrastinate again. I have a tendency to procrastinate sometimes. But yeah, I was getting ready to do the Eerie Town one. I thought enough time had passed since the Dungeon Dive had done their original video, and I thought, yeah, okay. Guess what happens? Dungeon Dive does another bloody video featuring Eerie Town. I was like, no! What's his name? Daniel? Is it Daniel? I was like, Daniel, you did it again! Don't get me wrong, I love Daniel. I love his videos. I love the Dungeon Dive. I think he's brilliant. But it's like, oh, come on. So, like I say, a combination of those things. I mean, the Dungeon Dive videos are really, really good. I don't think I could add maybe anything different. I mean, my playthroughs tend to be a little bit different than other people's. They tend to be a bit more emotional. Of course, you've got the dice rolling as well. Entertains people. But yeah, I'm kind of thinking that I don't know whether if I make any videos on Little Town or Eldritch Town or Eerie Town, I don't know whether it's actually really going to contribute enough. And like I say, I just got a little bit fed up with all the updates. It's like constant, for a long time it was like constant updates and changes, and it's like, nah. But it is a good game. It really is a good game. Just be aware that the designer tends to make a lot of updates. I think he sent me another one, a fantasy like Dungeon Delve. Caves and Catacombs, I think. And again, I think that's had a whole bunch of updates, and yeah, I think I've got to be honest. I think for Gustavo Coelho, he tends to make a lot of updates and changes. Now, if that's to improve the game, that's perfectly fine. You know, it's just a lot. I would recommend maybe not printing out these games. Maybe just playing them as the PDFs, electronic format. But yeah, that's number 3. Great game. I really enjoy this game. I've played it a lot. But yeah, I don't think I'll be featuring this on the channel, but a shout out for it because it is a really good game. A shout out. And I'll put all the links down below where you can find all these games. Yeah? That's number 3. We are at number 4. Number 4 out of 5. Amazing games that probably won't come to the channel. But I think still deserve some exposure. That's why we're doing this video. Now, number 4. This is by I think I can call him a friend. Toby Lancaster, the guy behind 2D6 Dungeon, 2D6 Realm, Watford supporter, unfortunately, but yeah, a good guy. And I backed one of his Kickstarters for another game that he did, and I like the concept of the game. I don't think it was one of his big sellers, but it's definitely a game that I really enjoyed. It's something very different. But the problem with this game, and the reason why I don't think I'll be featuring on the channel, although I have played it myself a lot, is that I can't figure out how to do a good video for it. The game is called Drop Pods. Yeah, I don't know whether you guys are familiar with Drop Pods, but it's a roll and write, print and play solo player game where Earth is being attacked by aliens, and the aliens are arriving in these pods. And because of the number of pods that are coming down, the military can't deal with all of them. So there are like these volunteer units, civilian volunteer units that are supposed to go and find these pods and, you know, help out. And the aliens are really powerful, they're really strong. It's very difficult to get rid of them once they've hatched, kind of thing. They become, you know, difficult to wound and stuff. So in this game, it says that the best way to get rid of the aliens and to stop aliens is to get them when they hatch. There's like a period of vulnerability. And what you have to do is you have to locate the pods in the building. There can be anywhere from like 3, 6, 7, 8 pods in a building, depending on how hard you want to make the mission. And what you have to do is you have to use kind of basic resources. You have to collect resources, and then you have to construct traps around the pod. So when it hatches and the alien comes out, these traps will hopefully activate and destroy the alien. You've got backup things like Molotov cocktails, but the essence of the game is very much like I think there was a computer game that I used to play a long time ago. I think it was called Dungeon Keeper. Was it called Dungeon Keeper? Where you're like an evil mastermind and you have a dungeon that heroes come to explore and find the treasure and defeat the monsters and try to defeat you. And the game is where you are setting up traps and ambushes and all these things in the dungeon. So you're playing as the baddie and you're trying to create the perfect dungeon traps and things. This is very much like that. It gives me the same kind of feel as that, and it's a really fun game. But I don't think it's for everybody because it involves a little bit of maths, a little bit of planning. It's a bit of a heady game, a bit of a mindy game, rather than a sort of straightforward sort of miniatures or role-playing game, that sort of thing. I mean, there are some puzzle elements as well, trying to figure out which traps would be best for which types of pods and creatures, and trying to construct the traps properly and getting enough resources. It's a very thinky game. I think that's the best word to use. I think mindy and brainy didn't work. But it is a really fun game. And the thing is, I was really planning on featuring this on the channel. I mean, I even printed out, I don't know whether you'll be able to see on the camera here, it's a bit bright. But I printed out all the sheets, all the character boards. You get sample characters and you can create your own characters. I printed all these things out ready. I printed out plans for all the buildings. Sorry, the fan's blowing the paper everywhere. And I even printed on high-res sort of sticker paper, adhesive paper. I even printed out tons and tons of rooms to actually stick and mount on boards, and you know, and then I can't figure out how to present it in a video. So, like I said, I have played this a whole bunch of times with just sort of pencil and paper, not necessarily with all these flashy maps and high-res printing, which cost a fortune in ink. I mean, I think I'm still going to mount these up and use them for my future games. But I was just having the hardest time trying to figure out how am I going to present this as a video, and make it interesting and to make it fun. And I just couldn't figure out how to do it. I did attempt it. I did attempt recording. Bee flying around. I did attempt trying to record a video for this, and it was just really frustrating because nothing seemed to work in terms of presenting something that seemed like people would want to watch it. It's a great game. It really is a good game. It's not going to appeal to everybody, but if you like the thought of using mathematics, trying to figure out traps and resources and trying to get these aliens, it's a nice little game. It's not a big game. It's a small game, but it fills a niche that I don't think I've seen before. So, Drop Pods, highly recommended. I love it. I think it's a great game, but like I say, I can't figure out how to do the video for it. This is number 4. We're now at number 5. The 5th game that I'm not sure. I mean, I think this one might make it to the channel, but I don't know. The thing is that you guys know, I mean, if you look at the description down below, you guys know that I have an Amazon wishlist. My channel's not big enough for me to really feel comfortable asking for money on Patreon or buy me a coffee or things like that. I don't think my channel's big enough for me to justify asking for money, but I do have an Amazon wish list in case people, for example, want to help in terms of video quality, or maybe even in terms of content. If there's a certain game that they want me to cover, the wish list is kind of a place where you can send me the game if you want to. But again, no obligations. You don't have to send me anything. It's just there in case you do. And like I say, every time, I think I've mentioned this in a few videos, every time that I receive a game from a designer or a company or whatever, or through the wish list if somebody sends me something, I do really try my hardest to get it featured on the channel in some form or other, yeah? And like I say, I still feel bad about the County Road Z. It's like the guy sent me what was his name again? Jordan. Sorry, Jordan. He sent me the file, and it's like, and I really wanted to play it, but I just couldn't. It's just, I know no more zombies. But yeah, I really do try my hardest to kind of feature it, because it's the right thing to do, I mean, I do have a backlog. Of course, I've got Colonel Thalas. I've got to do Colonel Thalas. I've got one Black Oath game which I'm currently is work in progress, which is not Colonel Thalas. It's actually another game that I got very excited about, which I'll be doing first. Colonel Thalas will be coming, I promise. But yeah, this game number 5. I'm blabbing now, aren't I? Is a game that somebody sent me through the Amazon wishlist. And it's a game that I've wanted for a while, and it's a game that I have actually been prepping for. I have actually been printing out miniatures and painting miniatures and learning the game. And it was actually a game that I've been scheduling for sort of middle of the year. So it's a game that I've been planning to come up in a month or so, yeah. And like I say, I've been painting miniatures and getting everything ready. I've even been making some new terrain for it. It's a miniatures game, of course. The thing is, I've just noticed that they've just released a 2nd edition again. Not Modifius this time. This time it's from Osprey. But I've noticed that they've brought out a 2nd edition. Now, these are things that you can kind of work with if the 2nd edition is not too different. But it seems that the 2nd edition is going to be a big difference in terms of 2nd edition versus 1st edition. So I still want to play the game, so I think I'm going to have to try and find a way to get the 2nd edition. I think it's sold out at the moment, but everyone's going, what's the game? What's the game? Tell us what the bloody game is. Stop talking. Well, I'll just hit myself in the face with a book. That'll teach me, won't it? Burrows and Badgers. Yeah, this sort of not parody. It's like this English Civil War kind of game, but it has these, what do they call them? Anthropomorphic animals instead of humans. So you've got sort of badgers and rats and rabbits and frogs and everything else, fighting each other. And I think last year I discovered a local miniatures maker, Naga Minis, from Malaysia, who did perfect figures for this. And like I say, I met them at a convention, introduced myself, and I became a tribes member of theirs, and I've got a whole bunch of their STLs now, and I'm still a tribes member. It's very cheap. And like I say, I've been printing and painting their miniatures, Naga Minis, in preparation for this. Like I say, I was planning to do this maybe June or July this year, but now I think I do procrastinate too much sometimes. I'm one of these people that has so many things they want to do, they end up doing nothing. You ever had that happen to you? It's like you've got so many different games that you want to play that you actually end up playing nothing. I mean, this is one of the reasons why I haven't reached a lot of videos in the last couple of months. One, I've been really busy with work and everything else. Two, again, I've got so many things that I want to do, and there's so many games I want to cover. I don't know, mentally, I just end up not doing what I want to do. Thirdly, again, the channel's not been doing brilliant in terms of views, in terms of number of subscribers. So again, motivation's a bit of a factor, but yeah, I've got to kind of apologise to the person who sent me this. You know who you are. I know who you are. I mean, I could still do this and then maybe do a second edition series straight after and kind of compare the two. I think I might do that because this is a really good game, and it's a really nice production as well. It's a really well designed, well written, lovely artwork. It's a really nice game, and it just seems a shame that if I just focus on the second edition, the new version, it's a bit of a waste. So I think I'm going to do a series of this anyway, maybe a short series featuring the first edition, and then I've got to try and find the second edition, because this is definitely a game that I want to feature. But like I say, I left it, I mean, I didn't leave it too, did I leave it too long? This game's been out for a long time, longer than I thought actually. I didn't think this game was out for as long as it was. It's been out for years, but I was only really made aware of it recently, and that's when I added it to the Amazon wishlist. So in my mind, the second edition came out of nowhere because, you know, I didn't think the game was that old, you know, the first edition. But there you go. So the plan is let's quickly go through them again. Let me sort out the shiny covers. Forgotten Ruin by Modifius, Nordic Weasel, Ivan Sorensen. It is a 5x game along the lines of 5 Parsecs or 5 Leagues from the Borderlands. And I love those games, and I love this game. But the number of miniatures may hold me back. I may not be able to feature this on the channel, even though I would like to. Like I say, the number of miniatures that I would need to do a good series, you know, without having the wrong figures or badly painted or unpainted figures, I don't think I'm going to be able to feature this. But I highly recommend it, and it's brand new. It's really, really good. Modern soldiers versus orcs and goblins. How can you go wrong with that? The second game, County Road Z. Again, let's get rid of that shiny cover. County Road Z. If you're looking for a campaign or an adventure game, miniatures with zombies and shelters and all this sort of Waking Dead kind of thing, Walking Dead, I highly recommend this. This is the first edition. Like I say, it was sent to me a long time ago. I had complete zombie burnout at the time. There is a second edition out now with from Modifius. I hear that it's a little. I hear that it's not that different, but it is different enough to make it better. So again, highly recommended if you're looking for a zombies miniature game. The third game was Little Town. Yeah, I kind of missed the boat on this one, and like I say, there were just so many updates, and I don't like Twin Peaks, so yeah, and Dungeon Dive. Yeah. Then we had Drop Pods. Don't need that for the moment. Drop Pods from Toby Lancaster at DR Games. A fun little game, very different from a lot of things that I've seen. An airplane going above us now, making a bit of noise. But yeah, I couldn't figure out how to make a video on this. I actually mentioned this to Toby one time during one of his live videos, one of his streams. I said, you know how to drop pods? I can't figure out how to do it. I mean, I know how to play it, and I've been playing it, but I can't figure out how to make a video for it. So I'll feature it here. Might get it some attention. And yes, finally, Burrows and Badgers. Like I say, if I don't play it, I'm going to feel bad because somebody sent it to me. But at the same time, I think second edition is very different to this from what I've heard. So I need to get the second edition and see how I can feature this on the channel and the second edition, I think, because this is a fun game. So I'm interested to see how different the first edition is from the second edition. The second edition is a lot bigger from what I hear. The game's a lot bigger, a lot more detailed. So maybe I can do sort of a simple version and then the advanced version. I don't know. We'll see. But we never know. Never say never. Let's see what the future brings. Maybe I should do some more of these little channel chats about various subjects and things. Have me cup of coffee in the morning and talk to you guys. Not live, I can't do it live. There'll be too many bikes and me swearing and cursing at various things to do live. But yeah, 5 amazing games that probably not come to the channel, but are still worth your guys' attention and your guys' possible purchase. Right, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed the little chat, the little discussion. I will see you in the next video. I'm going to go back now and continue prepping and videoing and playing this Black Oath Entertainment game, which will be coming soon. And then after that will be Kenneth Allat's, I promise. Right guys, until the next video, take care, stay safe. Cheers.